Well, all right, I'm pretty tired at this point after doing this presentation, but I wanted to share this with you as soon as I can. So, this particular presentation will cover the Akashic Library connection activation. It's related to a meditation that is separate from this video, but I'll link it in the end. And it is that particular presentation or the video that you should watch right after this. And if it doesn't make sense, come back here and watch it again until it makes sense. Now, I've been studying all kinds of different methods of communicating. Okay, some of them may have been the law of one, or raw, people channeling, and so I've attended so many different meetings with people where we were able to share information on how to do things. And today, I'm going to share what I've learned over the years. Now, these are the first 12 cards of a larger set. The total of the cards is roughly 36 of these cards. But I'm only going to do the first 12 because these are the gateway to open it up, to get there, okay, to get your idea in. So, as you see these here, they're in threes, so you have a trinity, and then you need to protect yourself. Then eventually you reach the sanctuary where you can receive the message in peace. And there is the divinity of the two, the connection, and you. Who are you? The insignia that's connecting to infinity to get crystallization of your idea in your hands. Okay, so I'm going to be using the words that are associated with these cards. They don't necessarily translate exactly as such, but it helps to do that so that you can have a reference point to go back. So I'm going to do a quick review of the first 6 symbols here. Now, these 6 symbols are for connection. To me, these are TCP/IP, like the transfer control protocol and the internet protocol of your ability to connect through the subspace to anywhere you like within this universe, including the ever-present Akashic Library that is suspended in the Higgs field. And the Higgs field, if you don't know what that is, this is the smallest particle, smallest possible net within which reality actually exists. They've discovered this at the CERN maybe 10 years ago or so. And the CERN super collider has detected the signs of the Higgs field, and that's how you use the system to communicate through this, because there's potential in your brain to do this. That's why we were created. The next set of cards is the actual activation, and we'll be covering these first 12 cards, but there is one more set, and that set is the integration here. I will not be covering those today. They will take probably more individual or more specific explanation of what they do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Your first card is going to be the connection. Okay, you're picking up a phone and you should be hearing a dial tone, and during the meditation there is a symbol playing. There's symbols and gongs and triangles that are playing to enhance the experience. Okay, you will hear and actually will see this 3D sphere that's hovering over the symbol that is supposed to help you visualize the intensity and the changes that are happening in the fifth dimension. Okay, so then you'll be actually hearing like this popcorn noise, the that we used to connect to the internet with maybe 30 years ago. I still have memories from those days waiting for my modem to connect. This is exactly what that is. This particular stage is that transaction that you enabling your compression and decompression to connect to your destination. Once you connect, you are headed to your destination and you're requesting to connect to the Akashic Library. Okay? And it will be successful, it will happen. So your next step is to protect yourself. And to do so, what you will do, you will create in your mind an image of something. So here I'm just showing a bear floating into a black hole as a private key. It would be something that I would use during my meditation. But the actual projection of what you're sharing with the world, what you're going to be overlaying your destination with, is what is called a public key. And the public key is similar, you can recognize it, but it's blurry in a different color, and it will be just like there for you to overlay your vision of what you're about to receive. Now, some people may close their eyes, or they can continue watching the screen. All these things, they all depend on how many times you've done this. You can do this every day. The actual meditation is about 11 minutes. 11 minutes and I think 11 seconds. I don't think I got it exactly right, but that was the intent. So the next step here is to have the connection made. So now you're about to introduce yourself, and that introduction is the insignia, and it will ask you, who are you? Okay. Now, if you don't want to say your name, do not say your name. Say an alias. I use something like my website, Black Hole Surfer, so that is who I introduce myself. But it is very much like Neo picking up the phone in the Matrix movie, with one major difference. In that movie, it never asks you what your capacity is. So your capacity, as you make in this phone call, as you make in the dial, is also getting you ready to manifest the amount of information that you're ready to receive. Now, if you haven't had a good day or have a headache, whatever, you're probably not going to be able to receive much. So make sure that your mind is clear. There are some enhancements that people can do that will make it better, but you should also say that I have an expectation of a large download at that point. Okay. So next is you're now finding yourself at something like a train station. You have a selection out of these destinations that you can choose. Now remember, your public key needs to play a role right here. So you're overlaying a destination so people not people, other entities that are listening into your mind at the time, or they're just randomly having thoughts, and if you ever heard of telepathy, there are people that can telepathically connect and share ideas. This is why you need to protect your mind as you make in that choice to any of these trains. Now, I'm gonna say let it just happen, or if you have a specific question that you want to get an answer on, think about that particular question and get on the train that is available to the destination that can answer that. Okay, so here you are sitting in this room that has 3 walls and triangle floor. So you're surrounded by 4 triangles, if you can visualize that, and you're suspended in this particular vehicle, and it's just like this energy vehicle where your mind is going away with this protection. Okay, so now you're using the symbol of Genesis, and here you can see again the encryption is playing a part of your destination. So you're going from here to there, you're traveling, and as you're traveling, your mind, your nervous system, your electron, and all these neurons that are in your brain connecting through magnetite that's helping you realize where you are magnetically, or gravitationally attracted to the center of this planet. It's keeping you grounded, and your mind is opened to this destination. So here you see the transition from this vehicle to your mind, where your mind is totally taken over. You should not even be feeling your body at this point. and you are going beyond anywhere here. You're not on this planet anymore. You're somewhere in space, in the infinity of whatever this universe offers. Through quantum entanglement, you're making decisions, you're making destinations, you're making whatever it takes to connect. Okay? And as you connect to this infinity, you're now achieving a state of sanctuary. Now, here you can see that this is your actual private key. So you're back in the place where you can trust. And you will see that in the actual meditation. You will just hear gongs and sounds, and there's like this cutoff time. It just cuts it off. There's going to be a brief pause, and then there will be the opening of Shine On You Crazy Diamond by Pink Floyd, which I thought was beautiful because it's in G minor and it just opens up your mind. You know, the feeling of sanctuary is going to be there as you are in the Akashic Library, making your ideas, making your downloads real. You're crystallizing whatever you came here to get. Okay? You're going to get one answer. If you brought a pen and a paper, please write it down. If you have your voice recorder, I just suggest record whatever you get at that point. You don't have to share that with anybody. It's for you. Okay, so just record it. If there's people around you in the room, you can do it quietly and just write it down. But you can see the infinite library of information and wisdom. So as a use case, one of my visualizations that I got was this mechanical vehicle that was made out of a sphere that was magnetic, and it had this plate over with a handle, and that plate was the opposite or the negative force to the magnet. So it was just hovering over this vehicle, and I've been wanting to make this vehicle ever since, because I think you don't even need any electricity or gas to get it moving. But that is one of the downloads that I got. I don't have the funding to make it so, but maybe one day I will. Okay. Hopefully the same happens to you. Best of luck, and I hope to see you out there.